I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is The Shadowing by the band Orbit Culture. This comes from the... Which alliance is this?
This is actually not an alliance. This comes from Blastroid.
Shout out to the big homie Blastroid. This is the band Orbit Culture. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori. And if you, dear listener, would like your song reviewed, all you have to do is join a Patreon alliance. $1 at the gate gets you in their Patreon, and then you get to hang out with your teammates, and then they decide. Each alliance has different ways of deciding what songs they send up to us, and then we review your song. However, if you're a filthy capitalist like Sori and you want to hop, skip, and jump in front of everybody, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You do that 3 times, you get knocked down at the $75 rate. Having said that, this is The Shadowing by the band Orbit Culture.
You also get to choose, like, you literally send us the link of the song that you want us to do. So the version that he picked of this one is the official video. Sometimes the official video gets blocked. In the event that it does, follow the link in the description so you can watch the exact thing that we do, because if it gets blocked, we can't even show it to you, so we have to remove the song.
Yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. You'll notice that we don't cut off the song like in the middle like most other reactors do. Shout out to all the other reactors. Go listen, like, share, subscribe to their channels. But we don't do that. We do it straight. And what ends up happening is that if you break it up, then you're pretty much golden. You get to monetize the video, and the record label leaves you alone. If you don't break it up, you pay it all the way through from A to Z, then the record label jumps in and takes your part of the ad revenue. And sometimes they'll even block the video in total. So that's why we do Patreons, so that offsets the ad revenue thing, so we don't have to worry about it. But just keep in mind, if you do request a video and you request an official video, we're going to do it, and inshallah it goes through. But sometimes it doesn't because of that reason, because of the gritty, filthy, capitalist record label. Alright guys, having said that, let's go. You turn up the brightness? It's probably supposed to be that dark. Okay. I got lyrics here. Let's see. I didn't see that.
First of all, I screamed when the thing, whatever, grabbed her mouth. In case it gets blocked, and you're like, when was that? That was absolutely, I did not expect that, and
These
it was like
people
very
are
freaky.
on a run right now. Bro.
I know.
First that Persephone song, which won Song of the Year. But then this song.
This was that big?
I don't know.
It was that big? This one was really good.
I think it'd be Persephone.
What? Orbit culture.
Yeah,
Jeez.
man. I don't think we've ever listened to anything from these guys. But holy shit, that was so freaking epic, bro. Whoa! And the other thing was like,
this is the part.
oh yeah, that was a still picture right there.
Yeah.
Bro, I need to reach out. What record label is Orbit Culture on?
Don't block us.
Whitelist this video. Don't block us. I don't even take all the ad revenue, but I hope people get to see this video along with this song with the reaction, bro. That shit was ridiculous. But see, this is a reason why we don't break up the song.
Right. How could you experience that as a whole?
You can't really like experience like how crazy this song was if you kept cutting it out, bro. So I just hope they don't block the video. So if you guys see a version of this reaction without the official video, it's because the official video got blocked. So
it'll say it. I always put that.
We had to replace it with the non-official video, but inshallah it won't get blocked.
Or sometimes even that'll get blocked, and you have to just put nothing.
Yeah.
So you never know.
What happened? What was the last band that did that?
Bob Dylan.
Oh my gosh, Bob Dylan.
Shout out to Bob Dylan.
Shout out to Bob Dylan.
He makes such good music.
His record label is horrible. It's not him. I'm sure the homie would be like, yeah, go ahead. Show the next generation. Holy crap. Okay, the demons are here, the burning's begun. This reminds me actually of a conversation I had last night. Holy moly. The demons are here, the burning's begun, the run of our time, the sanctums they'll burn. You'll face your time, your death, the burning of halos. That's a good line, the burning of halos. You said you'd never come back here again. I've changed me, all of me. I believe I'll die once I see you here. I believe I'll die once the scar opens again. I believe I'll die once I see you here. I believe I'll fight it again to watch you leave. You'll face your time, your death, the burning of halos. The price we pay through the eyes and the mind of a broken man. It's here to stay, confined in all. The birth, the growth, the life. The shadows uprising. I've lived through the eyes of a man in search of the bright light. I will live once I am free. The soul travels lightly across the plains. The golden star in sky. Embrace your heart. Good night. So, looks like that the ending of that relationship did not
go well.
Good
Lord.
Sorry it didn't work out for you, big homie. What's the guy's name? Is it Nicholas? Holy moly, this guy does everything. He's a
mixing engineer,
the mastering engineer, and he wrote the song. There is this band I was listening that I'm like really, it's SAOR. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've been really listening to them. And I said on the fireside. A fireside is when we just hang out with people for 2 hours.
It's a live stream.
But it went for like 2.5 hours last night. But I was talking about that band, and they were like, yeah, that's a one-man band that did that. So I don't know. I don't know if this is this another one of these one-man band thingamajiggies?
I mean, I only saw one guy in the video, but that can't be right.
Well, yeah, it can be right. Okay, so I see him
who's
playing
doing the
guitar.
drums?
Yeah, he probably had a drum machine. You know, like how Homeboy was doing it? But there's somebody, there's somebody on the drum. That might just be a stand-in guy. I don't know. Is Orbit Culture an entire band?
Him.
Or is it a one-man band? I'm not sure. But go ahead. What were you thinking about the lyrics? I assume you didn't look too much at the lyrics because the video was so crazy.
You would assume correctly. I saw the beginning. The demons are here. The burnings begin. The run of our time. The sanctums they'll burn. I saw that. And that was creepy. And then that creature was coming out of the room after she ran out of it. Mm-hmm. But you're thinking that this is a relationship song? I didn't actually get anything about a relationship.
What do you think it is?
I just thought it was somebody revisiting their demons.
Okay, so Orbit Culture is an actual group. Well, yeah, that's not mutually exclusive if the demon is a girl. right? Like
No. I meant like internally within your own self.
I see. No, it's an entire band. Okay, so it's not a one-man band. Shout out to Orbit Culture. Don't be angry at us. So what do you think it is?
No, I just thought that it was when somebody is visiting their own personal demons within themselves. And they're returning. The demons are here. The burnings began. The run of our time. Like they just go back to, you know, like sometimes people will try to kind of move away from it, and then it said you said you'd never come back here again.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm never coming back to this place in my life again. But then all of a sudden you find yourself back there again.
Oh yeah.
I've changed me, all of me.
So the whole time he's talking about himself?
Yeah, it was an internal thing.
Oh, okay. I might have been reading too much into it. I've lived through the eyes of a man in search of the bright light. I will live once I'm free. Soul travels lightly across
But I don't
the
know what
plains.
you would do with I believe I'll die once I see you here. I believe I'll die
Right,
once
I think
the scar opens
to me, what I got from it was a horrifically volatile relationship. He initially thought she was an angel, but she's actually a demon, which accounts for the burning of halos thing.
Uh-huh.
So he, you know, and when it says you'll face your time, your death, the burning of halos, that would be like when this person has to face themselves for the fact that they're not as good as they thought they were or whatever. Because he's experiencing her as a demon, but she probably believes that she's some sort of angel or something. That's what I got from it. And then,
Yeah.
but you
that
said
could be. See, if I was going with my thing, I would say that was like the demons talking. You'll face your time, your death, the burning of halos. Like the demons are basically saying you will never leave this place.
You're gonna end up.
You will always
like
return
us.
back to me.
You're gonna. Yeah. That could work. And then it says you said you'd never come back here again.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
But again, like I said, I believe I'll die once I see you here. Who would die?
Well, yeah, I think he's talking about a relationship, but I mean that could, heroin, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if heroin comes back to I'm saying heroin because of the context where we live, and prior to COVID, that was like the epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
People were talking about the opioid epidemic, and people were dropping like flies. I mean, to be quite frank, more people in our state have died from heroin overdoses than from COVID by like a rate of like 300% or something like that. So it was definitely an epidemic. But so like I see it from your perspective too. Like that could work, right? Like you'll face your time, your death, the burning of halos. Like maybe the person transformed themselves into a saint or whatever because they're off the drug, but then the drug comes back and the death kind of sick. Because when a person dies of an OD, like unfortunately, that then becomes the sum total of their entire life. Like that's the last thing that you think of them, and they're and it's crazy because when people get hooked on these horrible chemicals and they fight like hell to get out of it, and they've recovered, and there's some distance between their last hit, they like have one more party and go back to it, and then they take the hit as like heavy as they used to, and their body goes into shock and they die. And so all you hear is they died of an OD, and so it's like they just get characterized as that for the rest of their life. So the burning of the halo to me would be like if they died in that condition, people. It's so weird how judgmental people are of people in that struggle with particularly heroin. And I I get it to some degree. Like you have these societal sort of penalties so as to discourage destructive behavior. So you don't want to like lionize these people and worship them as like martyrs to the drug game. On the other hand, I still believe a person could be a saint and die in that situation. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me yesterday, like, could you be a Christian and an alcoholic? And I'm like, well, of course. So that's me taking your interpretation. Like the demon would be like some issue or whatever that comes back and then ends up taking their life or whatever. To me, based on, You know, I had a situation yesterday with somebody, and obviously, you know, kids are involved or whatever, and it's like, you know, it's difficult stuff, but, you know, so when you look at it from, you know, just some of the stuff that was being said, you said you never come back here again, yada, 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 and then I believe I'll die once I see you here again, and, you know, this is more like for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it seems in this song it's better if the person just completely stayed away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the person returning makes it so the scar opens up again and you know, yada, yada, yada. So, and it looks to me, and, you know, they've got this sort of like fear or whatever, well-founded fear if you're looking at the person's track record that they're going to leave again. So, you know, it's difficult to watch your kids, you know, go through that type of situation. So, like, lyrically, I was like, yeah, this is definitely like something that, you know, fit pretty closely to the conversation. And the funny thing is that this person is like perpetually a pitiful character. And when I say pitiful, I don't mean it in the pejorative sense. I mean it in the sense that, you know, people generally default, and so do I, default to feeling bad for her. You know, she's a sympathetic figure when simultaneously she's massively destructive. And
I'm always amazed when I too get sucked into feeling bad for her, because for, like, if everybody could see the situation, like, I, being who I am in this situation, the role that I play in the situation, I should never feel bad for her.
yeah, no, yeah.
But when I get sucked into it, I'm like, how can I fault the rest of them?
And I said that. I said that, sorry, that's it. Like, so, you know, it's a tough situation, you know, to have your kids go through it, and then being a parent and being like, you know, very, very hard conversation. But, you know, the burning of halos thing is like, see, my thing is, I don't really care how people perceive her. Like, I don't care if people perceive her or they feel sorry for her or whatever, because if I did, I have receipts. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have receipts, so, but that's not, the angel thing doesn't bother me because of her. It bothers me because she has that own perception of herself. Mm-hmm. And so, anything that she does that's destructive or whatever, there's some vindication or justification for it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she's got people around her who are enablers who really, you know, still to this moment don't give a fuck about her. Really, you're just, you know, affording themselves an opportunity to talk about us because they're obsessed with us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's nobody, like, developing that sort of, like...
Well, I agree, you know, to a degree with what you just said, but I do think that there are some people, like, the way that you think about things and the way that you go about things is not how, like, most white Mainers are. You know what I mean? Like, you think that, you know how there's, like, the parent that gives their kid money to go get the heroin because they're like, well, if I don't give them the money to go get the heroin, then they're going to end up robbing somebody to get the money because they're going to get the money. So in the parents' thought process, they're like trying to help, but they're making it worse. But are they? It's just such a complex situation. And so, yes, maybe that person is only doing it because they want to do what you just said. But also, it could be that they feel bad for the person and they think, well, if I listen to them and I sympathize with them and you know what I mean? Instead of, it's not like these people are trained counselors where the counselor is going to say, look, you need to step it up. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes you think that the best thing to do for somebody is to sympathize with them and hear them out, especially if you think that they're not being...
It's been 3 years.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
But some people do that.
Yeah. So, it's one of those situations with certain people, with certain, you know, issues. Like, they're never gonna be you know, at the level that they should be. But you know, it's a pretty crazy situation. But yeah, so that's all I was thinking about was that, you know, and that conversation, and like, you know, when you have that perspective of yourself that you're like some really, really good person, and then you just got a raw deal, you get to justify a whole bunch of crazy bullshit. You know, and so, you know, that was my whole thing, is like, you're not a victim here. Like, at all. Like, you're the victimizer. You're the bad guy.
But you said that before. It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy shit. But anyway, trust God with your kids. God's got a plan. I hope it's a good one, inshallah. What do you get the song? I love the song, though.
I hope it's a good one.
I love the song, though.
I loved the song. It's so weird because I'm like throwing out.
Tens all over the place.
Yeah, I feel I like usually am stingy about my 10s, and sometimes we finish reviews and I'll be like, I should have given that a 10. And I'm like, why did I not give it a 10? And I don't know if it's because, like, you know, like I can be kind of like a perfectionist where it's like, I mean, I'll do the same thing sometimes with, you know, stuff with the kids where I look back and I'm like, wow, did I really have to say, like, they did it like almost literally, if they would have just done that last thing that I told them to do, it would have literally been done perfectly. So did I really expect them to do it perfectly? Why did I have to mention that? So I don't know. Sometimes I think I do it with these bands because to me this is a 10, but I don't. I'm like, I don't. 9.8. No, I'm gonna give it a 10.
Yeah, this is a 10.5 for me. I loved it. You know, now it's like
I love it.
I had my Persephone song as song of the year. But I feel like this song, I think this song is now the song of the year. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. They'll both be tied. We'll both be tied, and then at the end of the year, I will announce the song of the year. So having said that, dear listener, Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Thanks, Blasteroid.